Chapter 2 Northwest Forest. As they walk further inland, a sandy beach gives way to a large forest. Vegetation on the treetops is dense, which provides excellent shade. However, when the max temperature is 80, sometimes a little sun is needed. Large engraved pathways divide groups of trees. Some lead to patios and gazebos. Around these walkways are beautiful flowers and intricate plant life. This forest has been tended to by the Weissmagus clan for decades. Its beauty is known throughout the western coastline. A few of these pathways lead to open training grounds, surrounded by seats for instructional classes. Often sages, the highest level of mage, will teach groups of apprentices in these areas. In the center of the forest stands a large tree, towering high above its neighbors. A building is crafted partly by magic out of this tree. It is a mecca of the dark arts and capable of housing the entire Weissmagus clan. The Weissmagus Temple, as it is called, is a flat-roofed rotunda with the biggest level on the bottom and the smallest on the top. The first level visible above ground is a cafeteria, library, and food storage. This floor also leads to the apprentice housing quarters. Above this is a collection of indoor scenario-based training rooms. The fourth level is the master's quarters. Further up the tree, on its trunk, are floors reserved for the highest level of dark magic users. Sages, paladins, and battle lords reside here. Built out of the limbs of the tree is a meeting hall, similar to a hype thrall. It is a platform with a ring that is supported by columns. This level is overseen by a stone statue honoring the fearless paladin level mages. The statue faces the sunrise every morning as it comes up from the sea. The top of the tree is a direct link to the underworld. It is a meditation room for high-level members to train their bodies and minds. While in the underworld, a magic user's power is at its highest. This is great for practice and exercise, but it can be deadly to an unprepared mind. All around and throughout the building, members of the magical arts roam. Normally, the temple is more peaceful, but today the area is alive with excitement. This is the day a select few will achieve the coveted level of Master Weissmagus. Amalthea and Ahmad walk among the growing crowd of magic users congregating at the temple. Some are talking quietly, others are loudly joking and telling stories. Most of these magic users even Ahmad does not know, so he walks quietly with his green staff tapping the ground. After they achieve a level beyond Master, a Paladin, or Battle Lord, they will usually go on a self-appointed pilgrimage. They may not return for years, or even decades. Master, look, Amalthea points to a mighty paladin who was talking to a sage. This one's outfit is similar to a master mage's outfit. However, the undersuit is lined with steel plating. They also wear steel gloves, and their armor is fixed with powerful quartz discs. They are built heavy, and it is only through magical design that the suit is quiet and form-fitting. The only downside is ventilation. It takes a stubborn person to stay cool in this outfit. The easiest way to spot a paladin is their bladed staff. Heavy forged, 3 to 6 foot handles with 2-foot obsidian blade on the focusing end. This blade is protected by insanely powerful wards, allowing it to go through nearly anything, provided enough force is put behind it. Their duty is to the preservation of life, not specifically to their temple of origin. They may be from the Mage Temple or from the Arcane Temple. Regardless, they are trained to be a jack-of-all-trades spellcaster, not necessarily a powerhouse. The paladin turns to her, as Amalthea had spoken too loudly. The gaze of this mighty warrior gives her pause. Amalthea turns her face away as she resumes walking, but continues to side-eye her. She stops abruptly as her armor clunks against one of the temple's many stone pillars. Ahmad stops and looks back at Amalthea as her helmet falls off. She tends a nasty scrape on her face. Ouch! Ouch! Why does this hurt so bad? Amalthea says in a frustrated tone. Ahmad picks up her helmet. Because it's a stone pillar, child. Amalthea snatches the helmet from his hand. Ahmad and Amalthea each hold up one hand as their armor and staffs disappear, leaving behind their robes, Ahmad's underarmor, and Amalthea's boots. Whew, much better, Amalthea says as she rubs her new scrape. Ahmad chuckles, resisting the urge to make a joke. After a few steps, Amalthea glances back at the paladin, who has already turned her attention elsewhere. So what are you going to do if I pass? Amalthea crouches up and walks side by side with Ahmad. I guess there's no harm in telling you. Sage Isabel thinks I would make a great paladin, Ahmad answers as they approach the center of the first floor. The main halls of the temple are pentagonal in shape and are about 30 feet at their widest. They are solid stone with one beautifully crafted strip going down both upper sides of the hall. Engravings in the strips illuminate the hallway, and vegetation hangs between each of the doorways. Mages have no time for stairs. At the center where these halls join is a large room with no roof. Multiple slabs of rock sit in this room. When Ahmad and Amalthea step on one of them, they need only say their desired floor. Meeting hall. The slab illuminates with ancient text, then lifts them to that level. Before the slab can stop entirely, Amalthea hops off and throws her fists up in a triumphant manner. Whoa, I'm finally here. Amalthea looks around at the other participants, then back at Ahmad and smiles. And you're here with me. Her master clears his throat and smiles confidently back at her. I'll let the sages know you are here. Amalthea sits on a bench, while Ahmad speaks to a sage. A sage's armor is more ceremonial than practical. Large, lightweight shoulder pads lined with dazzling gems. Skirts hang from their shoulder pads to better hold heat in. They do not wear undersuits beneath their robes, only more robes. Old age makes you cold, and being a creature of magic, sages can live for hundreds of years, some up to 1,000. It is for this reason that sages are considered the governing mind of the Vice Magus clan. The 3 sages sit hovering at the base of the large statue. Amalthea sits on a bench and crosses her arms and legs. Her face is softened with a hint of regret. After a while, Ahmad finishes talking to the sages and sits next to his apprentice. He leans forward with his fingers interlocked and his elbows on his knees. Here we are, he says, then rests his nose on his fingers and takes a slow breath. Yep, Amalthea scoots closer to Ahmad. Eventually she leans against his shoulder as the reality sets in. Time passes. Stress gives way to weariness. Noon, the 2 mages wait quietly as the crowd of young hopefuls and masters shrinks. Ahmad has now moved completely to one side of the bench. Amalthea is now lying with her feet in Ahmad's lap and her head on the other end of the bench. She is fast asleep with drool on her face and one of her arms. Ahmad's head rises, snapping him out of his half-asleep daze. He looks around and sees Net standing on the edge of the meeting hall, looking out toward the sea. His apprentice, Korla, stands beside him. If they call us, let me know, Ahmad says to his apprentice as he pushes her feet off. Manuog Flame, Amalthea mumbles as she lays her feet back on the bench. Hello, Master Ahmad. Korla greets Ahmad with a shallow wave as he approaches the 2. Hello, Korla. How are you today? Ahmad stops on Korla's left, Net being on his right. Pretty good. I studied all night and day for this, Korla replies with a wary smile and brushes his brown bangs to the side. He has a long bob haircut that just almost reaches his shoulders. His mind constantly racing, he often has a surprised or confused look on his face. His outfit is a male variant of the apprentice outfit. Similar baggy pants, steel gauntlets, helmet which he is not wearing, and cuffed boots. However, the torso is designed differently for males. Instead of a horizontal sash, the top coat goes over the wearer's shoulders and is joined in the middle by a leather patch. 12 buttons line the massive patch that covers the chest and torso. The boy's staff is 2 feet and bright red just like his master's, with an oblong piece of quartz on one end and 2 bludgeoning spikes on the other. Ahmad squints and slightly tilts his head. You did sleep, right? Net keeps his focus ahead of him while responding. No, and now he is too excited to sleep. Korla looks down at the trees below and scratches his long brown hair. A hand on his back draws his attention to Ahmad. Don't worry, I didn't get any sleep either. Fancy that, Net says as he side-eyes Ahmad. Prick. Ahmad cannot help but to bow his head and laugh quietly. Master, it's my turn, Amalthea calls from behind them. She walks to the edge of the meeting hall. Korla turns and dusts his apprentice outfit off. The children stand before one another, each waiting for the other to say hello. I, heard a hug brings you good luck, so... His face is already red, but he tries to play it off. With rosy cheeks, she happily hugs him tightly. Thanks, Korla. She draws back and smiles warmly at him before letting go. Ahmad, having watched this, looks at Net with a big smile. Net, where's my confidence hug? Net barely acknowledges him as the apprentices giggle. No. Ahmad holds his hand out as his armor and staff reappear. I don't remember asking. Net closes his eyes and laughs quietly. I will throw you off this building. Amalthea interjects, "Again?" Nat finally turns as they all laugh. "Again," he says, as a big toothy grin appears from under his brown mustache and beard. Ahmad and Amalthea walk toward the sages as the worry slowly sets back in.